Hello and welcome to This Day in History. It is a bright, beautiful, sunny, gorgeous blue skies, July 23rd, 2024. As you know, it's not about the year, it's about the day. So let's just get into it, shall we? Birthdays, 1892, Haile Selassie the First. That would be, if you recall from previous uh, videos that we have done, he was the Emperor of Ethiopia. He was born on this day in 1892. Born on this day in 1967, Philip Seymour Hoffman was an American actor, been in a lot of movies. Died real early in life, left behind a young son. He was, one of those that indulged, I guess, and I believe it was drugs that was what he died from. 1971, we see the birth of Alison Krauss, which is an American musician. I do believe Krauss is of the country music genre. 1973, the woman in the blue dress herself, Monica Lewinsky. She's an American activist. She's a public speaker. She's a writer. She was a former intern to the White House, and her big claim to fame is that she was the original Hawk Tuohy girl for President Clinton. Yeah, I said it. There was an affair. The alleged affair was that she was giving him some oral stimulation in the White House, in the Oval Office, while he had a foreign dignitary waiting to see him. Yeah, so happy birthday, Monica, I guess. British actor Daniel Radcliffe, you would know him as Harry Potter from the Harry Potter movies. His birthday is today. He was born in 1989. So we have some pretty interesting stuff that actually happened on this day. Also, speaking of birthdays, I want to wish my dear friend Jenny a happy birthday. I've known Jenny since junior high. Sweet girl, and love her to death. Hopefully you have a great birthday today. So it's 1844, and there was a revolt, a failed revolt of Australian rule in Italy. And as a result, it was on this day that Attilio and Emilio Bandiera, the Bandiera brothers, they were executed along with 9 other people for this failed revolt. They lost, so the Austrians executed them for their revolting. 1885, United States General, and he was also the 18th President of the United States, Ulysses S. Grant. He would pass away on this day in 1885 at the age of 63. On this day in 1903, Ford sells its very first car. Ford Motor Company sells its very first car, and 5 years later it would introduce the Model T. 1945, we talked about this guy a little bit last month, I believe. Marshal Philippe Pétain goes on trial for treason. He's given a life sentence of solitary confinement. Now, what was that all about? Because, the Germans rolled into France. The government capitulated, and this Marshal Philippe Pétain, instead of mounting a resistance against the Germans, he just went along with it, and he became the de facto leader of France. France's Vichy government, which was the pro-German government. They were basically the capitulated government. All in the meanwhile, Charles de Gaulle was in England, in exile as the legitimate, recognized government leader of France by the Allied forces. So the war ends, and the Germans lose. Obviously, the Vichy government is toppled. They're removed, and because he's the head of that Vichy government, he's put on trial for treason because he betrayed France. He didn't try to defend it, and that was his one job as a marshal. and so he got a life sentence. In 1967, we see some riots break out, and they break out as a result of the police raiding an illegal drinking establishment. It was an illegal drinking club, and but like a 5 day, uh, the riots went on for about 5 days, and it was a clash between African Americans and the cops, and it's said that this incident here um, basically gave rise to the Black Power movement. That it was the catalyst that kind of got them going. In 1970, Sultan Saeed ibn Taimur of Oman was overthrown by his son, uh, Qaboos bin Said, in a palace coup. In 1997, Slobodan Milosevic, um, he was the president of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, um, specifically that was Serbia and Montenegro. He served elsewhere too, but he was on trial. He was put on trial on this day in 1997 for crimes of genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes in the Kosovo incident. Um, Basically, he engaged in ethnic cleansing of the old Yugoslavia, and it was as a result of that. See, when I joined the army, I joined the army in '93, and I was actually supposed to be part of the contingent of military policemen that were sent over there for the peacekeeping mission in that area. We were supposed to keep the peace in Kosovo, Bosnia. Uh, we When I was in high school, we had a Bosnian exchange student and a Serbian exchange student, and uh, they kind of clashed because, or no, or was she Croatian? Anyway, Bosnia, Serbia, and Croatia, they were all fighting each other, right? And two of them kind of sided against the other, and I don't remember who was who, but um, it was just a big mess, and I would have been over there had I been able to stay in the army. Uh, so it took years, but eventually Milosevic was captured, and the situation was dealt with in the late '90s. But it says here that um, he died in 2007 while he was still on trial. Um, so that so he was on trial for 10 years. That part I didn't quite get. But I do remember, maybe it was a typo that he died in 2007. I don't remember. I know that he died, and the trial hadn't even completed yet. I remember that. I remember that that a lot of people felt like they didn't really get justice for those that were slain under his reign. In 1999, Eileen Collins becomes the very first female mission commander for the USS Columbia, which is Shuttle Columbia for NASA. 2011, unfortunately, this is an unfortunate situation. You hate seeing it, but it's another singer-songwriter becomes a member of the 27 Club. And what I mean by that is that it was on this day in 2011 that British singer-songwriter Amy Winehouse, she would die at the age of 27 due to alcohol poisoning. And what I mean by the 27 Club is because you know famous musicians that have passed at the age of 27. Jimi Hendrix died at 27, drugs. Janis Joplin died at 27, drugs. Kurt Cobain died. Well, he was murdered. 27. Amy Winehouse was 27. I think there was a few others too, but those are the ones that are off the top of my head. Going back to NASA, 2012 United States astronaut Sally Ride, and we talked about her recently. She was the first American woman in space. She died at the age of 61. And the featured event today is on this day in 1952. We have another coup here. Egyptian monarchy is toppled by a coup. Colonel Gamal Abdel Nasser, he led a coup. He overthrew King Farouk I of Egypt. It ended monarchy and it brought Nasser to power. And that happened in 1952, the year my mom was born. So that's it for this day in history. We will do it again tomorrow for July 24th. I am going to head off to the gym and see if I can't get a quick workout in before I have to go to work. So be blessed. Take care. We'll do this again tomorrow. See ya. Bye.